Good afternoon, everyone. It is Jen at Ink Paper Rubber. It is almost the weekend. Hooray! And hooray, I have some new things to show you today. And first up is the new release from Tailored Expressions. This is an amazing release, and I can't wait to show it to you. Lots and lots of holiday stamps and dies and stencils and such in this new release. So let's just jump right on in and show you what we got. First of all, the latest entry into the Simple Strips world. This is a new stamp set. It is the Christmas Simple Strips, and of course this does work with the original Simple Strips die, so if you already have that, you're all set to go, and you can see lots and lots of great holiday sentiments on this stamp. This is a great background stamp. It's part of their backstory line, and this one is just Christmas. You can see it has all the different holiday words on there and some little holiday symbols. These make really wonderful backgrounds. Speaking of backgrounds, there are a couple of new backgrounds here that have a little something special to go along with them. I think this is an ingenious idea, and I am really excited about these. The first one is called Bright Lights Background, and this is a single stamp, and you can see it has this oversized string of Christmas lights. Really great. You have a couple of different orientations you can use it in. Like I said, it is a single background stamp, but what is really great is it includes 4 clear stamps with it, and these are so that you can stamp the colors inside of the Christmas light bulbs if you want. And I love the fact that you get 4 of them, because that means you can do multiple colors and you don't have to keep cleaning your stamp as you stamp different colors. So that is really great. And of course, if you want to, you don't even have to use those. You could stamp this and leave it as is or color it in some other way, but I love that you have that option. I love that they're clear because that makes it really easy to get them lined up in there when you're stamping. And the Bright Lights is not the only one that is like that. They also have this new background that is called Jolly Holly. And again, it is a background cling stamp, but you get these 3 stamps here, 2 different holly leaves, and then the group of little berries, so that if you want, you can go in and you can fill those in. You can see you've got 2 different sizes of holly leaves and then the berries. So once again, if you want to use those, they're clear, so it makes it easy to line up. So love that idea. I think it is so smart. This is another background stamp, and I think this one is really pretty. It's called Boughs and Berries, and you can see here we have the pine branches, some other branches, little berries, just really, really nice background. There we have some holly. This is a new hand-lettered holiday, and this has the pretty script sentiment. They are big stamps, so they make a really big impact. They would be great to use with that one and stamp a sentiment in the center of that. So that is a really nice one. This one I think is really pretty and unique as well. It is called All Is Bright, and you get the lantern stamp, and then you also get a stamp. So if you want to stamp the inside with a light, you can with the yellow light. And then you also get 3 sentiments that are designed to fit right inside that lantern. So really, really nice and kind of different. Also very excited because there is a new entry into the Inky Fingers, and this one is the Inky Fingers Christmas. We have some reindeer, we have a Santa, we have a little elf, a snowman, and some Christmas ornaments, as well as some really fun little sentiments. So I think that one is going to be a really popular one. There's also a new entry into their flip line of stamps and dies. This one is called Flip the Snowflake, and you can see you get this pretty border snowflake stamp. You also get some individual snowflakes. I love kind of that little starry one there. It matches some of what's in the border one. And then, like always, you get several really nice sentiments with it. And there is a die set that goes with that as well that will cut out this border, or we'll cut out those snowflakes there. Speaking of snowflakes, here is just a standalone die. This is part of their Border Builder series, and you can see what it does is it literally just cuts out a border, so you can make that as tall or as short as you want. Put snowflakes at the top, at the bottom, coming all the way down. Lots and lots of different choices with that. Pine clippings. Really like this one. I think it will go great with the lantern. This is just a die set. You get 3 different pine branch dies. I really like this one that's kind of the double branch in the way it curves down. So I think there'll be lots and lots of uses for that one. If you like to do religious holiday cards, they have some great stamps and dies that would fit in for that. This one is called Follow the Star, and you get 3 dies. You get a border die that has the wise men traveling on their camels. You get a border die that is the Bethlehem background, and then you get this pretty star. And there is also this set, which is called A Savior is Born, so you can make a nativity scene. There you can see you have Mary and Joseph at the manger, and then you also have a border die with some of the animals. And if dies aren't your thing, there is also a background stamp. This is all just a single background stamp that has the wise men traveling to the manger, and it actually has the word rejoice as part of that, so that is really nice. This is a new Stacklets die, and so you get looks like 5 dies in here in this shape, and this is actually a great shape. I'll show you some samples to build a nativity scene in. You can use it to cut an opening or cut a frame, and it's a really good shape for that. These next 2 dies are, I think, maybe some of my favorites in this release. This is a new Layer It die, and it is the Layer It Cardinal. And you can see you get 3 different dies here that you can layer together, and the results when you do that are absolutely amazing. When you see some of the samples, I think you will love, love, love it. This one I also really like a lot. This one is the Vintage Sled die, and it has the pieces to let you build a vintage style sled. And this one here is called Winter Greens, and you can see in the sample there that they've actually used this one to add some greenery and a bow. So this one is perfectly sized to work with that, but also probably with a lot of other things that you already have. Speaking of something great to work with the sled, this is not a new die. It came out several years ago, and we've had it before, but there is a sample that it is perfect, these little itty-bitty skates with the sled, and so I knew I had to get some of those back in. We also had some new stencils in this release. This one is a very pretty, it's called Poinsettia and Pine. It's a little bit kind of a modern look, and I think that one is really lovely. Here is one that's actually called Modern Holly, and this is actually a set of stencils. You get 3 stencils in here. They are designed to layer together. So here you can see there's the first stencil and the second one and the third one, and you might notice there on the sides the little squares, those are registration marks, so it makes it really easy to get all those lined up, and the results that you get when you're done are really fabulous. You can kind of see there the leaves, and then you can see a little bit in the background they have the stencil with the holly berries on there. This last one is a really big, bold stencil. It's called Winter's Beauty, and it is this large, lovely snowflake. And I know if you go on their website or their blog, they have some really nice examples where they've used this stencil to do dry embossing. You can actually run these through your die cut machine if you have the embossing mat, and you can actually use them to emboss the design if you want. And there's some really pretty examples with that. Got some basics in. We got in the new 2020 mini tear-off calendars. These are really great. It's $3.50, and you get a package of 10 little mini calendars. We have some projects planned with those, so wanted to let you know we had those in. And finally, there are 3 new ink colors in this release. They are really beautiful. The first one is called Poblano Pepper, and you can see we have the full-size pads, the mini pads, and the re-inker. This is their dye ink, and here we got the paper in, and you can see a little bit how it compares. It is much deeper than what they've had before. This is the Poblano Pepper, that is Blue Raspberry, and that is Cookie Monster. So a really nice addition to that color range. The next color is Olive, and this is a really pretty greeny brown. Don't have anything like it, and so I'm excited about it. It's also a dye-based ink, and we have the full-size pads, the mini pads, and the re-inkers. And just so you can see, this is the olive paper, And this, I believe, I just pulled it from up there. I think it was the avocado. It's a really yellowy green. And then just so you can see how it compares, there is the chocolate truffle, their brown paper. So that's how that fits in the line. And lastly is watermelon, and it is a really pretty red. It's a little bit of a pinky red, but not too pink. Again, the full-size pads, the mini-size pads, and the re-inkers. And here you can see how it fits in. This is the watermelon. This is cherry pop. And then here we have fruit punch and guava. And so you can see those are much pinker. So this is a nice red. I think that these two reds together would be perfect for that cardinal. So let's see some samples. All right, so try and get it so the lights, there we go. There is, I think that one is from The Savior is Born, and you can also see that label stacklets and see how it makes that really nice manger. Here is All is Bright, so that is the lantern, and you can see here they've used the winter greens with the bow and some of the pine branches, and I think it's really faint, but I think the berries and boughs background stamp was used on the background of that one. Here is the Christmas backstory used on there, as well as the hand-lettered holidays, and also you can see the pine clippings die there. I think that one is really lovely, simple but pretty. Here is the snowflake border up there. You can see at the top, so it just makes a nice little border to your card. Here is the Bright Lights background with one of the hand-lettered sentiments and also some pine clippings. You can see what a fun background that is. Here is the Flip the Snowflake, really pretty in the blue and white. Here we have more of the, I think, Follow the Star and A Savior is Born. You can see how simple those were. Here is some cards done with the inky fingers. I think those little reindeer are absolutely adorable. There is the Jolly Holly background. And here you can see the berries and boughs background stamp, and there is that cardinal along with some of the pine clippings. I think that card is stunning. Also some of the simple strips down there. Here is the Modern Holly stencil. You can see what it looks like when it's layered, and another sample of that cardinal and the pine clippings. I just think that cardinal is stunning. Here is the Nativity background stamp. Those would be super quick and easy to make because that's just all a single stamp, and then you can see that they've used some of the simple strips on there. Here is a pretty one using the poinsettia and pine stencil there in the background. They've done a tone on tone, some more of the pine clippings. I love that kind of frosty look on there, and then the hand-lettered sentiments. And here is the background stamp again, and there you can see that vintage sled, and I mentioned the skates, how cute those are on there, along with the winter greens for the bow and the greens on there. And there is the Winter's Beauty stencil. So pretty. And that looks like that is it. So lots and lots of great things. I hope that you will stop by and see us either this afternoon or sometime this weekend. And I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Goodbye.